My little tattletales, how y'all doing today? Well, baby, come in, sit down, and shut the door. We got some tea on Drew's divorce. At least that's what the streets are saying. Y'all sit down, because if you don't know what happened, right? Drew literally amended her divorce complaint yesterday to say, guess what? Ralph mentally and physically did this. He knocked me down, grabbed my phone, took money from me. Y'all, the streets are coming back and saying that's all cap. Drew really did her best to get the story out there, because guess what? They say Drew been cheating and creeping. And the last one was a little bit too much for Ralph. Y'all sit in, shut the door. Let's get into this mess. You know your girl had to bring it to you first. Now, let me just start off by saying, right? Nobody really knows what happened between Drew and Ralph's marriage except for Drew and Ralph. Again, I will say this. When all this happened, okay, I thought this was a storyline for Drew until I did a little digging and found out this couldn't be a storyline for Drew, at least not this season, because Atlanta wrapped up filming in January. Yeah. They're getting in the edit. Now they're saying there might be a sit down, there might be a little something at the reunion, but there's no way this can be her storyline for season 15. My sources are saying, or at least one could actually speculate that, life happens. Let's get into this mess. Now, here's the thing. They're saying all those antics about Drew being like, Ralph said, give me a heads up if you go and file for divorce and all this other stuff, right? They're saying that Drew was the one that raced to the courthouse because she had a heads up from Ralph that he was filing for divorce. And again, we can actually wonder, it's all about with Drew, the optics and how the public views it. So we need to dig a little deeper and ask why Ralph filed for divorce, right? First of all, the most obvious thing is Drew is trying to tell a story. She's trying to get her side out of things, right? But they're also saying that Drew wanted to be the first one to have that moral high ground. Why? Because Drew is squirming. I mean, if you think about it on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Drew has always been like a little bit of a puzzle. You get blips of the truth, and then everything else seems to be capped, all right? Not to say that she is an insincere person, but let's be real, right? On the Housewives shows, everybody seems to be playing a role, if Potomac can be believed. So you get blips of the truth, but when it comes to Drew, you really have to sort through what's up. Now let's get, right? People are saying that Drew and Ralph both gaslight each other, right? They both gaslight each other. What's the way Drew gaslights? Well, and this goes into the whole cheating thing. Remember that season when LaToya was on, right? And there were not even rumors, but it was said that Drew was munchy. Well, I don't want to say munchy, but she was, her and LaToya had a moment, right? I think LaToya said that. Drew lied about having that moment. She spent the whole season lying about what was going on between her and LaToya. In that moment, the Bolo episode, there's also rumors that Drew had a moment with Portia. Now, Portia, I don't know if she's admit, but Portia, she likes to, she's been accused of, okay, right? I'm trying to work around the algorithm. My whole point is, right? They're saying that Drew got caught cheating. She was so obsessed with the optics. Why is it? Especially because I was like, Ralph been known to cheat. He's been known. She even admitted, Ralph admitted, there's a bunch of indiscrepancies. So why now? Because they're saying that they both gaslight each other. Drew has had somebody on the side. Drew is currently seeing somebody. Now, you know me, I was like, is it a girl or guy? Like, what's going on? Because I do remember the LaToya stuff, right? And I don't really see Drew around a lot of men, but she always got a lot of women around her. I know, right? It don't matter. But I literally was like, okay, well, which is it? Because if Ralph was cheating, what would make him lose his mind to leave? They're saying whoever she is cheating with, and they think this information is going to come out, Drew is trying to protect her Bible Belt reputation. Holy roly, what's a sin? The 10 Commandments. So she went out there and tried to put this information out first. Now just listen to me, and then we're going to talk about why this all might be capped, right? But just listen to what this is saying, okay? Take it with a grain of salt, but listen, okay? They're saying Drew's a Bible Belt holy roly, they both gaslit each other. But they're saying that Drew, when she got caught, right? When Drew got caught, she flipped out because whoever she got caught with was too much for Ralph. And that's when he was like, I'm divorcing you. And it was too much. And Drew wanted to have the public sympathy. She wanted to get that story out first, right? Now they're saying that. So I was like, but if Ralph's always been cheating, what's the big deal? Okay. You could speculate that maybe Ralph filed for divorce because that's not what Ralph signed up for, right? Maybe you signed up for this, maybe you signed up, but you didn't sign up for whatever Drew has going on. You have to think, right? Drew and Ralph had a narrative, and a lot of housewives do this. Even if there's like past cheating that happened that you accept, or past things that happened that you accept. You know, it's kind of like you have your narrative, you run with it, okay? You run with it. But then things get out of control, because even though you think you know what's going on and you think you can control the narrative, when the whole truth comes out, that's when you realize, okay, I can't control this. That's when feelings start getting hurt. That's when lines start getting dressed. I'll go back to this, all right? Let's see. Also, that whole thing about Drew saying that Ralph, because I thought it was odd that she said her example of her being physically, you know, was that he grabbed the cell phone away, pushed it to the ground, and then yelled, this is my cell, like I pay the bills, this and that. I thought that was a really odd example. Not that it didn't happen, right? I'm not calling Drew a liar about that. It's just an odd example because it calls two things that she said into question. Again, Drew's like a puzzle. Let me see what y'all think. One, to me, that actually falls into the fact of Drew had somebody on the side and it was getting too serious and Ralph didn't like it. Because why else would you struggle to get somebody's cell phone out of their hands unless you're trying to check what's going on their cell phone? Even if it sounds like him being like, I paid the bills, this is my cell phone. It sounds like Drew was like, that's my cell phone, that's my personal property. And he was like, yo, I paid the bills on this. I'll look through whatever phone I want in the house. He's not right for doing that. Tussling, violent, anything that invades somebody's personal space, let me be clear, is 100% wrong. But I'm just trying to get a clearer picture. Second thing that calls into question, Drew said that Ralph basically took money out of her account, took her money, okay? Which is imply, at least I took it as an implication, that he was a bum and she was like the main breadwinner in the family. But that doesn't really make any sense either. I've heard some rumors it was a joint account. I doubt it was a joint account, but even if it was, that would make sense because how did Ralph get access to that account? But two, okay, you are saying that he took money from you. But if Ralph is screaming, right, this is my phone, right? How are you the breadwinner or is Ralph the breadwinner? Because he paying cell phone bills. You also said in the TMZ article that unless your demands were met, you were going to amend your divorce application. But if you're the one making all the money, how are you going to get spousal support? How are you going to get this type of support if you're the breadwinner, like you said? Because remember, he took your money. Okay? Just follow me on this. He took your money. So how are you going to get all this stuff? Three, you're even arguing with him about whether he's going to pay your car note, but he took your money. This to me exposes how broke Drew really is. And ain't nothing wrong being broke. I'm not trying to disparage her for that. And this is why you couldn't even pay that $1,000, because at the end of the day, Ralph is the breadwinner. Think about it. Drew maybe popped up prior to Housewives, and I know she had a career, I think, before she got married. But when she signed up for Housewives, she had a name, but she was popping up in the movie maybe once a year, once every 2 years. I hate the way to be the one to break it to y'all. Acting, unless you make it to the stratosphere, does not really pay that much. Now, does it pay more than working at like Dwayne Reed and Walgreens? Absolutely. But it doesn't really pay that much. You see what I'm saying? So she might have had her little money here and there, but Ralph was the main provider. Ralph was the breadwinner. Ralph was the one that had all that money. So let's get back to your claim about he took your money out the account. How much money did he take? Because it said it was a large sum. I assume we were talking about like, I don't know, 100,000, 50,000. Seriously. How much money did he really take out your account? Was it a couple of thousand? Was it 5,000? Which that's not really any money, right? And why did he take it out, right? Drew, again, you worked every 2 years. How did he get access to that money unless it was a joint account? And if it wasn't a joint account, did he just take your debit card and withdraw maybe $2,500, your personal limit, because that's how much was your account, right? Again, just things that make you wonder. At the end of the day, people are saying that Drew got caught slipping. Filming was, and that's why she ran to TMZ. Filming was done in January. This probably won't be on the seasons of Roja because it's happened in the off season. Again, maybe it was a pickup season, but they are saying this is 100% real life. It wasn't planned. Now, that said, let me just say my doubts about the whole situation, right? One, Ralph to me looked like he treated Drew like TRASH on the show. Two, even if they had their whole thing, whether Drew's boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever she got on the side, because my mind keeps going back to the whole, my mind keeps going back to the whole LaToya thing. My mind keeps going back to the whole LaToya thing. And I'm being serious. What, right? What could be so bad? And what would Drew keep lying about over and over and over again? And why would Drew be in a rush to get this out, and what pushed Ralph? Now, it could be what we still thought was tomorrow. Ralph is mentally abusive. He is physically, all these things that Drew said in her divorce document. But I would just say, keep an eye on what's going to come out in TMZ, because both Drew and Ralph are running TMZ. Keep an eye on what's going to come out in TMZ or on the blogs in the next couple of days, because whatever Drew is hiding, or actually, let me just be clear, according to what the streets are saying, whoever Drew is hiding, it's going to come out. Now, that said, Ralph Emerson Watson, Peanut Head Pet, I still think he has a nerve. Ralph, you've been cheating on Drew since day 30, day 60, as long as I've known you on the public screen. Again, regardless if Drew is seeing somebody else, you had your little dalliances. That's when it gets into, did you guys have an open relationship, but there were rules to these open relationships? Because let's not forget, Drew seems like she don't like playing for the home team either. Let's also talk about the assistant, Anthony, that people were saying that Drew was low-key threatening to out Ralph because Anthony was saying all these rumors about Ralph playing for the home team, and Drew didn't seem too bothered. Again, there's nothing wrong with playing for the home team. Don't get me wrong. My whole point is, at the end of the day, whether Anthony said that Drew, what's his name, liked to play for the home team, or whether he liked to play for whether he liked to play for the home team, or whether he liked to play for the away team, whether he liked men or women, I thought it was odd that somebody tell you that basically your husband is cheating on you, and your reaction is to be like, what? What'd you say? Oh, it was giving open relationship with rules. However, with that open relationship, right, we just got to think, with that open relationship, we just got to think, did it just go too far? And y'all were supposed to be playing in certain rules, and those rules weren't respected. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. You heard it here first. Keep an eye on that space. Something big is coming, but I'll tell you one thing, Drew 100% secured her storyline for next season, because baby, things are about to get ugly, and Ralph is not letting this go. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.